What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Comics Q, where we talk about movies, TV shows, and maybe one day we'll talk about a comic book. Today we are doing the Batman Villains fan cast by me, of course, just me. We're just gonna hop right into it, and as you can see on the screen, this is a bit of a different way than I usually do. But as you can see on the screen for the Riddler, I have David Tennant. I believe that's how you say his last name. He was on Jessica Jones as Kilgrave, and he did a great job in that role. And I think that he would do a great job in this role. I believe that he could pull this role off, and he could be a great Riddler. Some alternate choices that I have are Hugh Laurie. I believe that, as you guys know, I'm not very good with names, but I'm trying my best. Neil Patrick Harris and Jim Parsons. It's about his mind. He's not much of a physical threat, and I believe that any of these three could pull him off, but I would like to see David Tennant. For the Penguin, we have Alfred Molina. I believe that's how you say his name. Not sure. You guys know by now, I am not good with names, but I believe he could play Penguin, as you can see in the fan art right there. I don't know whose fan art this is, but they did a great job. That might be their tag on the umbrella, I'm not sure. But I believe he would be a great Penguin. He looks the part, and I believe he could pull it off. Penguin's pretty much just a mobster in Gotham City, and I believe he could pull this role off. Next, we have Penguin alternatives. Josh Gad has been on Twitter recently as well, but about a year or two ago, he was at DC, and then he posted a picture of Penguin, and recently the news that Robert Pattinson, I believe that's how you say his name, was cast as Batman, and in an article they were going over that, and Josh Gad, of course, tweeted at them saying I could take him. So I believe that Josh Gad is set to play Penguin. So I have him on here, as well as Paul Giamatti. Paul Giamatti is a great actor, and I believe that he could pull this role off. We have Hush. Now, if you guys remember in my Batman Family fan cast, I cast both these guys to be Batman. And Hush is basically, I don't remember his real name off the top of my head, but he reconstructs Bruce Wayne's face on his body. So he has Bruce Wayne's face. So whoever plays Bruce Wayne should play Hush as well. And if it is indeed Robert Pattinson, then he should also play Hush if they ever do Hush. So I cast both these guys as Batman, so I cast both of them as Hush as well. Clayface, John Goodman, I think he could play. Clayface is a non-successful, trying to make his way in an acting career, and he is then turned into Clayface, and Clayface is an actor. In Arkham City, he portrays the Joker, and he says he thinks it's one of his best performances. So even when he turns into Clayface, he still is the actor wannabe. He's trying to be that actor, and I think most of the time Clayface would be CGI, but when he takes on his human form, it would be John Goodman, and then John Goodman can do the voice as well. He's actually the voice of Hound in Transformers 4 and 5, and he does a great job in both those movies, so I thought he could really pull this role off. Killer Croc is, I don't know how to say this guy's name, Adiwal, or something along those lines, but he's the actor who played him in Suicide Squad. As of right now, he's still Killer Croc. There's been no news, but if they do excuse me, if he comes back as Killer Croc, I think he should be bigger. As you can see here, Killer Croc from the comics, he is quite larger than Batman. They could easily explain this in the comics. It is said that he mutates. His condition gets worse. He mutates more. It becomes larger in size and more like a crocodile, less human, more animal. So they could just say that. They could, like, they should go CGI, I believe, and not the way that they went in Suicide Squad. Scarecrow, Sharto, or something Copley. Charlton Copley. I don't know how to say his name. Again, a lot of actors on this list. I don't know how to pronounce their names. He's been in quite a bit of movies. I can't name. Hardcore Henry is one. He played the same character, but different versions. Like there are like 5, 6 of them, maybe more. And I think he could really pull off the Scarecrow creepy vibe, the creepy vibe that Scarecrow has. For the Mad Hatter, Andy Serkis, he is an amazing actor, and he could pull off any role that he wants. He was what was his name in? He was Claw, something Claw in Black Panther and Avengers 2, but he is no longer. Spoiler alert for Black Panther if you haven't seen it. It's been about a year or more since it's come out. He dies in Black Panther, and I believe he would be a great Mad Hatter. This fan art right here is actually him as Penguin, so he could play Penguin as well. I just believe he would be better as Mad Hatter. Now, for Bane, it is a little more complicated. We have Thor. I don't even know. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce his last name. His first name is literally Thor. As you can see, it is the Mountain from Game of Thrones. One of the biggest men in the world. And he's won Strongest Man 2 or 3 times, I think. Maybe more. But I think he should be the body for Bane. For just the base body. And then you can give Bane his mask. That way, when he talks, he just moves his mouth and they can do what I have here, which is Javier Bardem as the voice of Bane. Oh, that's Margot Robbie. But they should have Thor as the base, and then when he uses the venom and gets bigger, they just CGI that in. And have the voice of Javier, because Bane is, he is Hispanic, I believe. Or he might be from an island. I'm not sure off the top of my head. But Javier would be the perfect voice for Bane, and Thor would be the perfect body. And then you could CGI when he uses venom and gets bigger. Margot Robbie is still Harley Quinn. She's going to be Harley Quinn for a long time. She's got Suicide Squad 2. She has Birds of Prey. She has Gotham City Sirens. Pretty sure they're doing that. So she's going to be Margot Robbie's going to be Harley Quinn for a very, very long time. A lot of people enjoyed her character, and she did a great job as Harley. Ian McGregor has been cast as Black Mask. There's some fan art there. And here's from technically more fan art, but that's kind of how he looks in the comics. Then there's this right here is actually from the little trailer of Birds of Prey. Black Mask is going to be the villain in Birds of Prey. So he has been cast, and they are, I believe they are almost done filming. I think they still are filming, but they're almost done. And I really hope that he does get his mask in this movie, because otherwise it wouldn't be right, I believe. As you can see here, he has kind of like a dark suit. When he becomes Black Mask, he usually wears a white suit and then has the black skull. Josh Lucas, I have him for Man-Bat, of course. Man-Bat would be mostly CGI. They could create a suit for Man-Bat, but as you can see here, this is from the animated show. He kind of looks a little similar, and he could definitely pull off the scientist, and then at night it's just Man-Bat. So he would get screen time as the scientist. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't want to go through all that makeup for Man-Bat, so they could just make Man-Bat CGI. A lot of things nowadays are CGI. I have Patrick Stewart from Mr. Freeze. He would be amazing at this role. As you can see this fan art, He looks the part, and he would do I have no doubt in my mind that he would do a fantastic job in this role. He could definitely pull it off. It's just the fact of, will he do it? And if he was asked, I hope he would do this. He's been Professor X for over. There are 3 originals. He was in X-Men Origins, then he was in The Wolverine, and he was in Logan. So about 6, maybe more. Plus Days Gone, Future Past. What was that movie called? The second X-Men movie in the new trilogy, whatever it was called. I have Natalie Dormer for Poison Ivy. She was, of course, in Game of Thrones. There's the comic book depiction, and then here, this was just, someone just took a picture, painted her green. There's some leaves right there in red, but she could definitely pull this role off. We have Ghasshan Masood, I believe is how you say this guy's name, as Ra's al Ghul. Now in the comics, Ra's al Ghul is a old white man, pretty much. I believe if they bring him into the DCEU, they should make him either a Middle Eastern man or an Asian man. One of those two. Kid Watanabe played the fake Ra's al Ghul in Batman Begins, and then it turned out to be Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson did a great job, but I think it should be either a Middle Eastern or a Asian man. Now we have Ron Perlman for Solomon Grundy. Of course, Solomon Grundy could be CGI, but I think Ron Perlman would actually go through the hours of makeup it would take to turn him into Solomon Grundy. Solomon Grundy is like a Hulk-ish character. He's really big. That's why I would think they would go CGI, but they could just add on muscle and like muscle pads, and they could make him normal-ish size, and Ron Perlman would do great as the voice. Solomon Grundy doesn't talk too much, but he does have his little chant, I guess you call it. Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday, and then he goes like through all the days. John Hamm for Two-Face. There was a time about a few months ago, people wanted John Hamm as Batman because there were talks that he would be Batman. I don't want him as Batman. I think he looks like Harvey Dent, and he would pull off Harvey Dent. Not only would he pull off Harvey Dent, he would pull off Two-Face. We've seen him in the El Royale, I believe that's what it was called. He was in Tag. He was in... There's one other thing that I've seen him in that I can't remember off the top of my head. But everything that I've seen him in, he's done good. He's played the goofy parts, but he's also played the serious parts. And he would do... I hear a... Sorry about that. There was a weather warning signal. I didn't know where it was coming from. There is a tornado warning where I am right now, but we're just gonna ignore it. So John Hamm as Two-Face, not as Batman. I don't see him as a Batman. I see him as a Two-Face. As of right now, Will Smith is still Deadshot. It was assumed that Idris Elba was coming on to replace Will Smith as Deadshot. That is not the case. I believe the statement put out was, out of respect for Will Smith, Idris Elba will not play Deadshot. So Will Smith is still Deadshot in the DCEU. Could that change? Yes, but as of right now, he still is. I have Ken Watanabe for Hugo Strange. I think Hugo Strange should be an Asian man. As you can see in this, he has a shaved head, so he will do that. Yeah, Ken Watanabe could definitely pull this role off. As you can see here, he shaved his head for this role. That might be his Ra's al Ghul role, but I don't think it is. For Victor Zsasz, I have Chris Messina. I don't know. Once again, on this list, can't pronounce a lot of names. He's been cast as Zsasz for the Birds of Prey movie, so if we ever see him again, it'll most likely be this actor. Now, as of right now, Jared Leto is still the Joker. and he is still set to get his own movie, I believe. Jared Leto's playing Morbius in Sony's Spider-Man universe without Spider-Man. Sorry, Sony's Venom universe, I guess we'll call it. But he is still the Joker. Now, I know I think the Joker Harley Quinn movie is being written. I don't think he's getting his solo movie anymore. But reportedly, he is still the Joker, and that has not changed. With that being said, I have on here Joaquin Phoenix, I believe. He is playing the Joker in his solo Joker movie, which is set in the 80s or the 90s, I believe, and it's in a separate universe. So if Jared Leto does not return as the Joker, he could be Joaquin Phoenix could become the Joker, and they could just tie him in somehow. He is a great actor, and I believe that he will be great as the Joker. I hope we just get his like bleached skin or his acid skin, whatever you want to call it, not just makeup. And now my all-time fan cast for the Joker would be William Dafoe. That's why he is also on here. He just, as you can see in this picture, he not only looks like the Joker, he could definitely pull the Joker off. He played Green Goblin in Spider-Man 1. I think he was in Spider-Man 2 as a hallucination. He pulled that role off. The only problem is that he played a pretty major character in the Aquaman movie, so I believe we will not, sadly, ever see William Dafoe as the Joker. But this guy just looks like the Joker, and he just looks like an evil person, a crazy evil person, and he could definitely pull it off. But sadly, I don't think we'll ever see it. But with that being said, the King of the Fishermen in Aquaman was voiced by the actor who was the wizard in Shazam. So that's a little different because he's voicing one character, and I believe he got his role for the Wizard of Shazam through voicing in Aquaman. But sadly, I don't think, because William Dafoe was on screen, I don't think they will let him play the Joker. And I don't know if he would want to do it, but this fan art is amazing, and he would be an amazing Joker. With that being said, that's all the villains right now that I have for Batman. We might do a part 2 with some other there are some wacky Batman villains out there. We might include them in a part 2 villain fan cast, and we might do a Bat Family part 2 fan cast as well. But be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe, stick around to see more videos. Hit the bell to get notifications, and I'll see you in the next one.